Hello everybody, this is Old Soldier. This week's episode is going to be my review on the heavy Gore-Tex Ecws Parka. This parka is Generation 1 Gore-Tex. It came out in the 1980s, and when it came out, it was the coolest thing since sliced bread. Now, this is Gen 1 Gore-Tex. It's not the most insulated. As a matter of fact, this is uninsulated. It's not the newest, it's not the most lightweight, but it is certainly, in my opinion, remains a great piece of gear and relevant in today's world. And let me tell you about it. As I mentioned, this is an uninsulated heavy parka, but it does have heavy layers of Gore-Tex lining that are breathable, so it'll keep the rain and the wind off of you. It is breathable material. One of the best features of this piece of gear is that it is rugged. This one I have used for, almost 30 years, and I was issued other pairs before that, and they all wore extremely well and pretty hard to use. One of the features that was new in the 80s, but is fairly common today, are zippered vents underneath both of the arms. This feature helps keep the wearer from overheating, yet you can still wear the parka to keep the rain off you. This and the updated version of this come in several camouflage patterns. This one obviously is a standard woodland pattern. I've also used ones that came in a desert pattern. Those also worked very well. And I did have a pair issued to me for a time that worked in ACU. It wasn't when I was in the military, it was another capacity. That seemed to work okay to keep the rain off you, but for some reason the material was much stiffer. It was like cardboard, and it just was not as comfortable as this thing was. Another feature that I really like is in the front. It has a sewn-in flap where you can keep everything from a pack of smokes to a carton of chew to a map flap, which is probably what it was intended for, or some other small items. Very handy and convenient. The parka also features two standard pockets in the front, and let's face it, folks, that's one of the big reasons why a lot of us went SF, is so yes, we could put our hands in our pockets. The pen pocket on the left arm of the wearer is handy, and surprise, surprise, in mine I have a pen. This parka is designed to be worn baggy, but it does have a cinch strap around the waist. Should it be needed to worn snug to the body, there is also a cinchable draw strap on the very bottom of the parka. In the front is a flap, which was designed for military rank to be pinned off on. I won't say I never saw people pin rank on it, but I saw it very seldom. Maybe that's changed, but that was my experience. This parka is a solid 3-season fall, winter, spring parka. It's likely too heavy in the summertime. In extremely cold conditions, it does need to be augmented with probably a base layer and maybe a fleece top. Who knows? Even maybe a surplus British Army fleece top. I've had colleagues criticize this jacket just for the reason that it's not insulated. But you have to have the awareness that no, it is an uninsulated heavy Gore-Tex parka, and if you are going to wear it in extremely cold winter mountain conditions, you have to augment it with other gear. That's just a fact. The pros of this jacket is that it's rugged and durable. They wear extremely well, and they hold up extremely well. Those of you who have listened to this channel before know that I'm big on materials and sewing, and the sewing on this is excellent. All the zippers still maintain, all the pockets still maintain. It is excellent at keeping wind and precipitation off you, and it is breathable because Gore-Tex was a revolutionary improvement. It was a huge quantum leap advance of technology at the time. This thing today is relatively low cost. They can be found from the low 100s to easily below $200. And in this today's world, for a quality piece of gear, that's relatively inexpensive. Here are the cons. It's not lightweight. The material can be noisy if you're in a tactical situation, and there's better stuff out there. But I should note, there's not a lot of stuff out there at a better price point. The hood is effective at keeping the rain and wind off you, and if it's really cold and you need to wear it, go ahead and do so. I don't recommend wearing a hood in a tactical situation because it obstructs your hearing and your vision, but should push comes to shove and you need to avoid hypothermia, use it. If you're from some unit or team that can afford the best of everything, this is probably not for you. If you're on a limited budget or just a regular mere mortal, this is a solid, durable piece of good that will stand up to hard use and keep the wind and rain off you, and is very comfortable. I have heard people sneeringly refer to this dismissively as Gen 1 Gore-Tex. Yes, it is. It is much superior to Gen 0, in other words, no Gore-Tex. In short, I like this piece of gear. You may have really already gathered that from my comments, but that's my review on the heavy Gore-Tex ECWS Parka. This is Old Soldier out.